3, 17 newsmakers, and joining us this morning, Sheriff Donnie Youngblood. Sheriff, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you.
First, I know that you want to, you have a warning for residents as we go into these days with these scorching temperatures.
I do. We have 5 or 6 days of heat that is going to be deadly. If you transport a child or your pet, put something on your wrist, a dog collar, something colorful. When you get out of the car and you get your child, put it back in the car. It will remind you. We do not want to have a tragedy in Kern County anywhere this week, and that's just a little reminder that when it's on your wrist, you have somebody on board, pet or child. And it's just a little trick so we don't have an accident.
I mean, everyone thinks it would never be them that would do that, but it happens.
It does.
It really does, and it's devastating. There have been several deaths across the country so far this year. All right, Sheriff, we want to talk about a video your department recently released of what was called a high-risk traffic stop. A separate video of the incident had been shared around social media and was attracting a lot of attention recently. That's when you decided to release the full body camera video of this traffic stop. It turned out the man who was pulled over turned out to be innocent. Take a look.
Hands out the car. Turn the car off. Keep your hands up. Don't run. There's a helicopter above that's watching you guys. Hey, driver, step out. Keep your hands up. Do not run. If you run, you get bit by the dog. All right, we'll let you know what's going on. Step on out.
So as we mentioned, the man in the video turned out not to be the person that deputies were looking for. He was later released after his car was searched. So Sheriff, I know there were a lot of questions going around on social media. Can you explain why the deputies pulled this man over at gunpoint and handcuffed and detained him when he wasn't even the person they were looking for?
Yeah, the sergeant on scene thought he recognized this subject as someone that we were looking for shooting someone, attempt homicide. He believed it was him. He believed that if it was him, he had a gun. So if you watch this video from beginning to the end, and you'll find a mechanism that is done exactly the way we want it done, including the person who was in the car did exactly what we want them to do. It ended no tragedy. It ended with the deputy saying, "Hey, I'm sorry. Here's why we stopped you," and they went their own way. That happens. It's not about color. We were looking for an African American that the sergeant believed was him. He recognized him. Turned out not to be. The driver's license didn't look like him, admittedly, by the person in the car. So it was a set of circumstances that occur every single day in communities, and everybody went home safely. And we would like to use this as a training video because my guys did exactly the right thing.
And you said there was an internal investigation launched because there were complaints and concerns in the community, and the outcome? Yeah,
the outcome is it did exactly what they should have done, as did the person in the car. And we were really pleased to see that interaction on video, that it was a very positive interaction. Now, later he had some statements, but that he attributed to, didn't know if he was going to get out of it alive. If you watch the video, I don't think you'll get that.
And if someone does feel that way, is there something they can do after an encounter like this?
Well, when we get stopped by the police, our heart rate goes up. If they approach a car with guns, our heart rate goes even higher. That's a normal reaction. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen, and sometimes you have the wrong guy.
Okay, and then your advice in that situation, if you're ever in that situation?
Do what he did. Follow what the officers tell you. We can deal with it afterwards, and they did. And they ruled him out as being not the right guy, and everybody went home safely.
All right, I'd like to switch gears now. Later today, David Palms, who was one of 2 murder suspects who escaped Lerdo in late April before being caught again, is due back in court. And we spoke about the escape back in May. You admitted there were, things that you would be looking at the jail to be changing so that something like this did not happen again. Have any changes been implemented there, or any more coming down the pipeline? Yeah,
we just talked about a car stop where we did everything right. In this particular thing, we did everything wrong. Everything that we could do wrong, we did. And so we went back, including the day we opened the jail. I stood next to the flagpole that was right next to the building, which is what they used to get off the roof, and it didn't dawn on me. So we were all in this, not just any one person. We did everything wrong from the beginning. We've gone back, the flagpole was moved. We've done some internal things. For example, we're not housing 2 suspects together in the same cell. There's a lot of things that we have changed. We don't want to give our tactics away and things that we do to keep prisoners in there. But the truth is, had we done the right thing, they could have been in a cardboard box. They wouldn't have got away. So anytime we have this, we go back and reevaluate ourselves. In this case, we embarrassed ourselves.
And last but not least, Sheriff, I want to talk about a rise in crime that we're seeing across the country. We know homicides are up in Kern County. We've seen violent crime or other types of crime like thefts and burglary. Are those also on the increase?
Yeah, it's an interesting question because our homicides are double and continuing to rise. Our violent crime is through the roof. It shows our property crimes are not, but there's a reason for that. People are frustrated that law enforcement doesn't respond timely because of lack of personnel, and they've stopped reporting crimes. They feel like there's no gain in reporting the crime, so they don't even call us. If someone's a victim of a property crime, they might have to wait 3 or 4 hours to get us there. That's frustrating for them, and they just say, heck with it, I'm not even going to call. So we're trying to work on our response times, but it's very difficult with the number of calls for service in an 8,000 square mile county. It's really difficult.
All right, Sheriff Don Youngblood, we're out of time, but thank you for joining us this morning, sir. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.